Before you scroll away, stay with me for just a little longer. Thousands of voices are competing for your attention today. They promise success, instant answers, and a better tomorrow. Yet somehow, out of all those voices, you stopped here. Perhaps you think it is only a coincidence. Perhaps you believe an algorithm simply placed this message in front of you. But what if this moment is far more meaningful than you realize? What if the questions that have kept you awake at night, the burden you have carried in silence, and the quiet tears no one has ever seen have all led you here for a reason? Don't rush. Don't listen only with your ears. Listen with the part of your heart that has grown tired of pretending everything is okay. Today, I am not here to promise that every problem will disappear overnight. I am here to change the way you see the problem itself. Many people spend their lives believing that every closed door is proof that they have been forgotten. Every rejection feels like failure. Every delay feels like abandonment. Every unanswered prayer feels like silence. But what if the disappointments you carry today are actually protecting you from the pain you cannot yet see? Take a slow breath. Let your worries become quiet for just a few moments. Open your heart. Because the first truth I want to share with you may completely change the way you look at your life. You have spent so much time staring at one closed door that you no longer notice the light shining from another direction. You prayed for one opportunity, one relationship, one answer, one dream. You believed that if this single door finally opened, everything else in your life would fall into place. So you kept knocking, again and again and again. You waited through long nights. You whispered prayers that no one else could hear. You held on to hope, even when disappointment became familiar, and still nothing happened. The silence hurt more than the rejection itself. Slowly, a question began to grow inside your heart. Have you forgotten me? Listen carefully. When a loving father pulls his child away from a dangerous road, the child does not understand that he is being rescued. The child only feels interrupted. The tears are real. The frustration is real. But so is the danger the child never saw. You ask me to open a door because you can only see the entrance. I can already see the entire journey waiting behind it. I see conversations that would slowly destroy your confidence. I see people who would quietly steal your peace. I see success that would cost you your purpose. I see a path that looks beautiful today but ends in a place where your soul would slowly lose its joy. You call it rejection. I call it mercy. You call it delay. I call it preparation. You call it an ending. I call it a new direction. Sometimes my greatest blessing is not giving you what you ask for. Sometimes my greatest blessing is protecting you from what you cannot yet understand. Look at the seasons of nature. A tree does not fight against winter. A seed does not panic because it cannot see the sun. Both understand that hidden growth is still growth. Perhaps your life is in such a season. Nothing appears to be changing. Nothing seems to be moving. Yet beneath the surface, something beautiful is taking place. Your character is becoming stronger than your circumstances. Your patience is growing deeper than your fear. Your faith is learning to walk without visible proof. One day you will stand in a place you never imagined. You will look back at the door that never opened. Instead of asking, "Why did you say no?" you will quietly whisper, "Thank you for loving me enough to protect me from the life I thought I wanted. So stop measuring my presence by the doors that remain closed. Look instead at the strength you did not have a year ago. Look at the wisdom born from disappointment. Look at the peace that remained after every storm. Not every closed door is standing against you. Some of them are standing between you and a future that was never meant to be yours. And when the right door finally opens, you will not have to force it. You will not have to chase it. You will walk through it with a quiet confidence, knowing that What is truly meant for you will never require you to lose yourself in order to obtain it. So today, release the handle of the door that refuses to move, or lift your eyes. Take one step forward, because while you have been knocking on yesterday, I have already been preparing tomorrow, and perhaps that is why you are hearing these words today. There is something that troubles your heart more than pain. Silence. You can endure struggle. You can survive disappointment. You can even carry grief for a long time, but when you pray, and nothing seems to happen, you begin to wonder if anyone is listening at all. You whisper my name into the darkness, you wait, you listen, and all you hear is the sound of your own thoughts. That is the moment when doubt quietly enters. It tells you that you have been forgotten. It tells you that your prayers have gone unanswered. It tells you that heaven has become silent. But listen carefully. Silence is not the same as absence. A mother watches over her sleeping child without saying a single word. The child hears nothing, yet love fills the entire room. The sun does not announce its arrival every morning. It simply rises. The roots of a mighty tree make no sound as they grow beneath the ground. Yet year after year they become strong enough to hold the tree through every storm. Some of the greatest works happen in complete silence, and so do mine. You often ask me for visible signs. You ask for immediate answers. You ask for certainty before taking the next step. But faith has never grown in certainty. Faith grows in trust. Anyone can believe when every prayer is answered immediately. Anyone can smile when every door is open. Anyone can be grateful when life is easy. But the soul is transformed in the waiting. Every day you continue to hope without proof. Your spirit becomes stronger. Every morning you choose peace instead of fear. Your heart becomes wiser. Every time you refuse to give up, you become the person you have been praying to become. You think I am changing your circumstances. Sometimes I am. But many times I'm changing you. Because a blessing received too early can become a burden. A responsibility given too soon can become destruction. There are dreams that must wait until your heart is ready to carry them. You see delay, I see preparation. You see emptiness, I see quiet growth. Think about the sculptor who shapes stone. Each strike of the hammer seems destructive. Dust falls to the ground. Pieces break away. The stone does not understand what is happening. Yet with every unseen detail, something beautiful is slowly being revealed. Your life may feel like that stone today. You have lost people. You have lost opportunities. You have lost certainty. You believe something precious is being taken from you. But perhaps I am removing everything that hides the masterpiece within you. So do not fear my silence. Do not mistake stillness for abandonment. I have not stepped away from your life for a single moment. I have been walking beside you through every unanswered question. I have been holding you together on nights when you believed you were falling apart. I have been opening unseen paths while you stared at closed doors. One day, the answers you desperately wanted will matter less than the person you became while waiting for them. And on that day, you will understand that my silence was never empty. It was filled with protection, with preparation, with wisdom, with love that was quietly working long before you could see it. So if your heart is tired today, do not stop praying. If your eyes are filled with tears, do not stop believing. And if all you hear is silence, remember this simple truth. I have never been closer to you than in the moments when you thought I was far away. There's a question you keep asking. Why did they leave? You replay old conversations, you remember old promises, you wonder what you could have done differently. Maybe you blame yourself, maybe you blame them, maybe you blame me. But today, I want you to see something from a different place. Not every goodbye is a punishment. Some goodbyes are protection. You asked me for peace, but you kept holding on to people who stole it. You asked me for healing, but you kept returning to what kept breaking your heart. You asked me for a new beginning, but you refused to let go of the past. So I began closing doors that you would never have closed on your own. It hurt. I know it hurt. You watch messages stop coming. You watch friendships slowly disappear. You watch someone promise forever and then walk away. It felt like losing a part of yourself. But listen carefully. A tree cannot grow if every dead branch remains attached. The gardener cuts away what no longer gives life, not because he hates the tree, but because he wants it to grow. The same is true for your life. Some people were only meant to walk with you for one season. They taught you something. They changed you. Then their journey ended. You keep asking why they left. Maybe the better question is, what did they leave behind? Perhaps they left wisdom. Perhaps they left strength. Perhaps they left the courage to stop accepting less than you deserve. Do not confuse history with destiny. Someone staying for many years does not mean they belong in your future. Some people know your story. Very few are meant to help write the next chapter. You cannot receive what is new while refusing to release what is over. Your hands are full of memories. That is why they cannot hold the blessings waiting ahead. I know loneliness feels heavy. I know silence can make the house feel empty. I know there are nights when you still hope for one more message, one more call, one more chance, but there are moments when love means letting go. Even I do not force people to stay where they no longer choose to be. So why are you trying to hold together what has already fallen apart? Trust this. What leaves your life is not always taken from you. Sometimes it is removed to make room for something greater. One day you will meet people who bring peace instead of confusion. People who speak truth instead of fear. People who stay without being chased. And you will realize something beautiful. You were never abandoned. You were redirected. So stop standing in yesterday's doorway. Stop waiting for footsteps that are not coming back. Turn around, take a slow breath, look ahead, because the people I have prepared for your future are already walking toward you. And they will recognize the person you became because you had the courage to let go. You keep asking me for a sign. You say, show me what to do. Tell me which way to go. Give me one clear answer. You believe that if the sky opened, if a miracle happened, if everything suddenly became obvious, then you would finally trust me. But look closely. How many signs have you already ignored? You prayed for peace. Then you met someone who encouraged your heart. You called it luck. You prayed for direction. Then an unexpected opportunity appeared. You called it coincidence. You prayed for strength. Then you survived a season that should have broken you. You called it endurance. You never called it grace. Sometimes my answers are quiet. They arrive as a conversation, a delayed flight, a closed business deal, a stranger's kindness, a child laughing, a sunrise after a sleepless night. You keep searching for lightning, while I keep speaking through morning light. Think about the path beneath your feet. It is illuminated one step at a time. Not 10 miles ahead, not next year. Just enough light for the next step. If I showed you every detail of your future today, you would carry fears that do not belong to today. You would try to control what should simply be trusted. That is why I give you daily bread, not a lifetime of certainty. Have you noticed how many times you were protected without knowing it? The accident that never happened, the phone call that changed your decision, the delay that kept you from the wrong place, the disappointment that redirected your life. You called them ordinary moments. Heaven called them mercy. Stop believing that I only work through extraordinary miracles. I am present in ordinary days. I am in the quiet morning. I am in the deep breath you almost forgot to take. I am in the friend who checks on you. I am in the strength that helps you get out of bed. I am in the hope that refuses to die. Even after everything you have faced, faith is not learning to see miracles. Faith is learning to recognize my presence in places you once overlooked. So today, slow down. Look around, listen carefully. The answer you have been waiting for may already be growing in front of you. The door may not open with a loud sound. It may open with a simple conversation, a small decision, a single act of courage. Do not despise small beginnings. Great rivers begin as tiny streams. Great trees begin as hidden seeds. Great stories begin with one faithful step. And perhaps the greatest sign you have been asking for is the quiet change already taking place inside your own heart. You are stronger than you were yesterday, calmer than you were last month, wiser than you were last year. That is not an accident. That is my hand gently leading you forward. So stop waiting for the perfect sign. Take the next faithful step and trust that I will reveal the next one when the time is right. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself 1 year from today. The burden on your shoulders feels lighter. Your breathing is slower. Your heart is no longer racing with fear. You wake up without immediately thinking about what you lost. You smile without forcing it. You laugh without guilt. You have found peace in places you never expected. Now look back at the person you are today. The tired one, the worried one, the one who keeps asking, how much longer? You want every answer today. But if I showed you the ending now, you would miss the beauty of becoming. Every mountain is climbed one step at a time. Every sunrise begins in darkness. Every new chapter begins with the courage to turn one page. Perhaps this difficult season is not the story of your defeat. Perhaps it is the story of your transformation. You have been measuring your life by what you have lost, but I have been measuring it by who you are becoming. You are kinder than before. You are stronger than before. You are more patient than before. You are learning to trust instead of control. These are victories that no one can take away. There will come a morning when you realize that the prayer you thought was unanswered was simply being answered in a different way. The person you cried over will become a memory instead of a wound. The opportunity you missed will no longer feel important. The fear that kept you awake will lose its power, and you will understand that every step, every delay, every goodbye, and every silent night was leading you toward a life you could not yet imagine. So do not let today's pain convince you that tomorrow has no hope. The chapter you're living now is not the final page. It is only the place where the story begins to change. Keep choosing kindness. Keep choosing faith. Keep choosing hope. Even when no one notices, even when progress feels invisible, even when your heart feels tired. Because every quiet act of faith is building a future that your eyes cannot yet see. Before these words come to an end, I want you to remember one simple truth. You have never walked alone. I was with you when the door closed. I was with you when the silence frightened you. I was with you when people walked away. I was with you when you searched for signs in the darkness. And I will be with you when the morning finally arrives. So release your fear. Release your regret. Release the weight you were never meant to carry. Lift your head. Take one more step, then another and another, because your story is still being written. The pages ahead hold more grace than you can imagine, more peace than you have experienced, more joy than you thought was possible. Do not reject these words. Do not forget them tomorrow. Carry them into the next sunrise. Carry them into every decision. Carry them into every uncertain moment. And whenever you begin to wonder if I am still near, listen carefully. I am in the courage that keeps you moving. I am in the peace that returns after every storm. I am in the hope that refuses to leave your heart, and I will remain there today, tomorrow, and every day that follows. Keep walking, Ka. I am already waiting for you in the future. I have been preparing all along.